Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first episode of The Family Album. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm your other host, Matt Glass.
For those of you who are just joining for the first time, this is a show where two dudes talk tunes.
All opinions. We, AJ and I have been around for a while.
That's
and
true.
We have a lot of opinions about music. Mm-hmm. Whether they are good or bad, we don't really know.
Exactly.
I guess it's up for you to decide.
We are not experts. We're just guys who like music and want to share that with the world.
We are musicians.
Well, that is true.
It doesn't matter if we're good ones or not, but we are musicians.
It counts.
To say the least.
Don't fight us.
But this is just a musical album discussion podcast.
Yeah.
And
basically how it works is every week, Matt and I show each other an album and we just talk about it.
Yeah. So, AJ.
Yes.
How do you feel today? First podcast and all, first episode. How you feeling?
That's a good point, man. I'm pretty excited. I'm shivering in my boots a little bit to be on air and be ridiculed by the masses.
the people lining up like, shut it down! Like, yeah, of course.
For our heresy on these opinions.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Matt, how are you feeling today?
Oh, I am just dandy A my J.
Don't say that.
No, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited to talk about the first two albums of this entire show.
Man. Got some good ones.
We definitely do. I'm very happy with the selection.
Yes, sir.
And the future selections going forward. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, just look forward to that.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
All right. So, Matt, would you like to share with the lovely people what album you've chosen this week for me to listen to?
The album that I chose for AJ is called Part 1. It is an album by the West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band, and it came out February 1967.
Ooh, got a little bit of an oldie.
Yeah.
But certainly a goodie.
Of course.
So yeah, Part 1 by the West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band is a psychedelic rock album from the 60s. And my oh my, what a treat this album was. It was great.
It's a fun one. I was very happy that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. There's a lot to love in this album, pulling a lot from different psychedelic band influences. And it's just it's a very, very easy listen. It's only 33 minutes, I believe. It's a nice, easy time. It doesn't overstay its welcome. So I want to take a little deep dive into these tracks, my friend.
Yeah, by all means. I want to hear everything you have to say about it.
All right, so this album opens with the track Shifting Sands, which I thought was kind of a bit of a Doorsy track, had that little bit of more haunting vibe.
It does have a hint of the Doors.
Yeah, that's a very common theme on this album, is that a lot of songs kind of pull from their, like, I guess, like, psychedelic predecessors or, like, post-decessors. Just like a lot of, like, famous psychedelic bands. Like, you can definitely hear the influences or what would influence these bands in the future.
No, for real. And we were actually talking about this earlier. Didn't you say that Frank Zappa was part of this?
He was. He is on... he either wrote or he produced the fourth track, Help I'm a Rock, which we'll get to, which makes so much sense.
It's my favorite.
But yeah, Shifting Sands, a phenomenal opener. Really sets the tone for this album. Very Doorsy, that haunting kind of feel. It's that, classic waltz. There's an organ in there too, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so that obviously adds on to it. Any words on that one? Shifting Sands?
Shifting Sands is a great track. I really love the way you described it as like the Doors-esque kind of album. I don't know exactly where the Doors fall in musical history, but
I think I wrote this down. I think it's like their debut came out like a month before this album, but I think West Coast has been around more, I think. I could be wrong.
I like the overall sound of Shifting Sands. It's a good one. I don't listen to it like very often. They're only like, even though I love the album like so much, there are only like two tracks that I actually listen to like regularly.
Yeah.
So hopefully this could also jog my memory a little bit. It's actually been a while since I've listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But I have before, and I'm sure as you...
I swear.
But yeah, Shifting Sands. Which one is next?
Next one. This is the hit from the album, I Won't Hurt You.
Oh, this is one of the ones that I listened to.
So you said this is in a movie, actually, correct?
Yes, this song is featured heavily in the Wes Anderson film, Isle of Dogs.
Oh, nice. I've never seen it, but I know Wes Anderson, and he's a classy fella. He sounds like he has good music taste.
Very symmetrical in his shots, I mean.
Okay.
I don't know what I probably should have...
He's a very proportionate person. He's built very well. Perfect features.
Yo, he's built different. But anyway, no, he's a very...
Damn, homie, you looking symmetrical today.
Yo, I can calculate the 90-degree angle off of you.
So I Would Hurt You is great.
It's a great track. Tell me what you think about it.
I thought it was really nice. It's just vocals and is it piano or guitar?
It's like I think it's like it's just the tapping of like the guitar for the rhythm, like on the pickup, so it sounds like a weird like pseudo bass drum.
Yeah,
and then there is the da-doom, da-doom, doom, da-doom, like little thing going on, and just
riff.
the voice. And then I think there ends up being like a little bit something else later.
Yeah,
it's mostly just a voice, the bass, and then the boom, 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 kind of like
keeping it steady.
But it's so mellow.
Yeah, it's a super chill song. It's got, you know, a very heartfelt, sweet message. Just, you know, I'll let you down easy, won't hurt you.
Yeah.
Like as I said before, a lot of like these songs kind of like set the tone for these different bands. I don't really know what this would be classified as, but each song is different tonally.
It is,
which is really cool.
No, absolutely. The entire album is like a huge genre bend.
Yeah.
Like each track has like a different, I don't want to say gimmick, because gimmick kind of has like a negative connotation.
It's like a certain like sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's really interesting though to hear what they came up with.
Oh yeah.
The track 4 is like my favorite.
Track 4, I'm gonna be honest, I think I'll skip track 3. 1906, it's fine, but I didn't really feel too heavy about it. It's apparently about an earthquake that happened in San Francisco.
Really?
I looked that up
actually
on
had no
Genius.
idea.
Yeah, it's about an earthquake that happened in 1906. Little haunting, but it's not really a standout track, but it's fine as is.
Huh.
But track number 4, Help, I'm a Rock.
Oh, this song is so fun.
I really enjoy it. As we stated, Frank Zappa either wrote or produced this song, and you could tell it has his influence all over it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's about a man who's been turned into a rock.
What a horrible day to be a rock.
Help, I'm a rock.
And it's also this like really like
Just bombastic drum groove.
It's amazing.
It's great. This album's so fun.
It really is.
Let me see what else I have.
We could just like hit the highlights like if you wanted.
That's cool.
We're still trying to figure out the structure, you know? I mean, this is our first ever episode of this, so
That is
we have
true.
leeway. We have tons of leeway.
We're working out the kinks here.
Yes, the kinks. That actually would be a great.
Oh, yes, a future episode.
Yes,
perhaps.
yes, indeed.
Oh yeah, dude, the guitars in the song are fucking incredible.
Oh, it's incredible.
They shred.
They really
it's
do.
so sick.
It's amazing how hard all the instruments go and how amazing like the vocal like performance is.
Yeah.
When they're just saying the same thing
know.
over and over again.
It's like the instruments is kind of like where the song shines, but the gimmick is with the lyrics. Like, dude, like when it hits like the quote unquote chorus, like and the ascending chord, the bum bum ticka bum bum. It's like a pseudo Freebird, but like way better.
I also love how they sing it like help, I'm a rock. Help, I'm a rock. Help, I'm a rock. Help, I'm a rock.
Help, I'm a rock.
One of them sounds like they have like a stoma. Help, I'm a rock. What a horrible day to be a rock. That's like it's like so they say a bunch of shit like that. And
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's great, man.
God. What a lousy day to be a rock.
All right. Next track is Will You Walk With Me. Again, it's a fine track. It's a sweet little thing. I thought that it was interesting 'cause it has like a little bit of a creepy vibe to it.
It
If you look at the
does.
lyrics, yeah. It's kind of like walk with me or I'll fucking kill you.
It does kind of have like a weird, like uncanny, like unsettling, weird. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like an ominous, uncanny vibe, but like nothing happens.
No.
And in a way, that's even more of a fucking gaslight if you if you catch my drift.
It's like false anticipation.
Yeah, it's like almost like The Birds.
Yeah.
By
Alfred Hitchcock.
I almost just said Sherlock Holmes. My favorite director, Sherlock Holmes. Oh God, I am so sleep deprived. That's natural for a college student, though.
Yes,
I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Yeah.
Yo, I love Kendrick.
Next episode. Oh gosh.
All right, next up is a personal favorite of mine, Transparent Day. I really like the song a lot.
Really? I actually am not the biggest fan of that one.
Okay. I really like how this song is produced. Like the way the vocals kind of pan in the intro. It basically starts in your left ear, then your right ear for each like stanza of the verse, and then it combines for like the last part before it goes into the chorus.
Yeah.
I thought it was some really cool production techniques. And dude, as I say with Help on a Rock, the guitar work on this album is just phenomenal. It's through and through.
It goes hard.
It's really good. For a psychedelic album, like I guess like a folky psychedelic album, it's really impressive. So yeah, I enjoyed Transparent Day. Why weren't you such a big fan?
I think lyrically,
that's fair.
Like it's okay. Like I try to look at like that as well, even though I'm terrible at writing lyrics. But like I honestly, lyrically, I guess it just kind of fell flat for me a little bit. Like I didn't feel like that one I connected to as much.
I gotcha. I mean, like that's kind of a running problem with like this kind of music from the 60s.
Yeah.
So it just comes with the territory. But there's like, it's not terrible. It's fine.
Help I'm a Rock, on the other hand. God, dude.
Immaculate.
Being a rock, you have no idea how hard that is.
What a terrible day indeed.
I was about to make a horrible joke.
Well, let's skip that terrible joke.
Of course.
And move on to the next track, Leiyla. This is probably my least favorite track on the album.
It's all right. I'm not the biggest fan. Really, like, the whole album is great, but I just get excited for I Won't Hurt You and Help My Rock. The rest I know, but like honestly, I'm just kind of like, you know? Mm-hmm. But I love it overall.
Yeah, like tonally, it's just like you just put it on and you're having fun.
Yeah.
Even though there's not like super too many standout tracks, the overall project itself is very well made.
Yes.
I will say for this song though, there's some production issues, which are where there's a lot of like cutting and like weird volume things that happen sort of in the middle. Which is very strange. There's a little bit of that on Transparent Day, but it's a lot more noticeable here on Leiyla.
I kind of feel like back in the day when it came to things being experimental, it was just a bunch of like artists not giving one flying hoot about any production
like
issues.
Technicality.
Like people call the Beatles like experimental back in the day. And in reality, they have a plethora of audio issues in so many of their songs.
100%.
Like, and I feel like people at the time were kind of like, oh my God, they're such geniuses, the way they just did that. But with this, because people don't really know this band, they'd be like, oh, that's shit. That's terrible. What is your favorite color?
Who's a rock? What?
My cousin who's a rock thought this was insanely offensive. Oh my God.
But yeah. Oh, also, this is just like a weird side note. And I don't know if Ween is going to come up a lot in this podcast because they're my second favorite band of all time.
They're pretty good.
But this song, I don't know if you've heard the song Marble Tulip Juicy Tree. It's the penultimate track on their first album. It reminds me a lot of that, like, from its sound. So I don't know if maybe they were inspired by it or if it's just a coincidence, but I was like, oh, this gives me like that kind of vibe.
I figured, like, because you liked Ween, that's why I picked this album for you.
It's Help 'Em a Rock.
I would love to hear Ween do Help 'Em a Rock.
Oh, dude, they would kill it.
Gene Ween, he would like go ham.
Dude, his vocal range is awesome.
It's so wild.
He can do so much. Like Freedom of 76 to like Ocean Man. It's like such a divide, but they both work so well.
And then the Blarney Store.
That might be Dean. That might be Diener.
That's Dean?
I could be wrong, but that might be Diener.
I always like imagining that it's Gene. Like, I don't know why. Like, I always imagine that it's just like Gene Ween be like, get off me arse. We got to make this an episode one day.
Oh, 100%.
We could just do like a deep discog thing of
Ween?
Of just the mollusk.
Oh, true. That'd be a great time. Next track. If you... Oh, no, sorry. Here's Where You Belong. I don't know why, but one of my notes is God, I love Persona 5, and I don't remember why I wrote that.
It's always... Hey, I mean, Persona 5 Strikers, great game.
It is a phenomenal game.
It's so good. I just started playing it not too long ago.
Oh, nice.
It's fantastic.
Base Persona 5 or Strikers?
Strikers.
Strikers is good. Strikers is a great time. I really like the song a lot. I thought it was fun. It's a song about moving on. Everything really blends together on the song very well, and there's a lot of like similar panning in Transparent Day, which also happens a lot on this album, which I'm a sucker for. I love a good in one ear, out the other ear. It's fun.
Yeah, no, it is a very fun time.
Yeah.
That song. I don't remember. Like, Here's Where You Belong is kind of where I'm like, you know what? This is.
Yeah, it's not like super memorable.
Yeah,
I gotcha. But this next one I actually think is pretty memorable. If You Want This Love.
That is a good one.
Yeah, this is very Zombies inspired, or like it sounds like the Zombies.
I love the Zombies.
Zombies are really good. That's a future episode too.
Yes, it is.
Some of these lyrics aren't great, as like same thing with Transparent Day. Again, it's the same thing for most of this album. It was the time. It's fine. But dude, the drums and guitar are great. They also kind of, for the first half of this album, the guitar, I believe, is on the right, the drums are on the left.
Yeah.
They switch in this song.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, they're spicing it up a little bit.
I see.
They got a little country and folk break too, which is kind of sick. But we're heading towards the end. That song is a very highlight, but Excuse Me, Miss Rose, I'm not too big a fan of this. It's kind of like a rockabilly type song. Again, they do everything on this album.
I love rockabilly.
Rockabilly's fun. It's just not one of my favorites on this. And then it closes with the song High Coin, which is a cute little instrumental. And I also personally really like when the band just like talks to the audience.
Yeah.
Like Todd Rundgren in the album Something Anything. There's a track, I forget what it's called, but he just like talks about production techniques in like the middle of it. It's really funny.
I feel like that I should really give that a listen. That sounds hilarious.
It's a good time. But yeah, that's part one. My favorite tracks personally were Transparent Day, Shifting Sands, Here's Where You Belong, and If You Want This Love.
That's a pretty solid selection, honestly.
How about you, Matt? What are your favorite tracks?
Definitely just the two aforementioned ones. I'd say probably I Won't Hurt You and Help Him a Rock. Those are both just
iconic.
Honestly, Help Him a Rock is probably my favorite even over I Won't Hurt You. I Won't Hurt You is a nice little like peaceful, quiet vibe, but like Help Him a Rock is just so chaotic and it's just like, why?
It goes hard.
I just want to know why it happened, but I also don't because I feel like I'll be disappointed with the answer. I love imagining how they came up with this song.
Like, dude, what if like you were a rock though?
Yo, what? Down, 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 down.
Frank, get in here.
Help, I'm a rock. Goodness gracious. But I'd say those are like the two highlights for me.
I gotcha.
The beginning is great. And like the whole album is great. I say again, but I feel like just really now, since I've listened to it, like I really just look forward to Help My Rock and then just I Won't Hurt You.
I gotcha. What would you rate this album?
Honestly, I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I gave I think like an 8.5 out of 10. I say, and it's A tier.
Honestly,
yeah.
Facts. It is.
A tier album.
It is honestly so fun. Like sure, it might have some production issues like laced throughout, but
yeah, some lyrics that aren't great, but
my God, it is just like
it's honestly it's like the quintessential psychedelic album because it just reaches from like everywhere in the genre.
It's also just like fun because this took place in like the 60s.
Yeah.
And the people in the 60s were not creative.
No. Very repetitive, unless you were like Brian Wilson.
Yeah. Beach Boys episode?
Beach Boys episode.
Ooh.
That'd be fun.
We're definitely going to have to talk about that.
Yes, sir.
Maybe that's also a guest episode because I know we got one friend who really likes the Beach Boys. But yeah, no, absolutely.
If you like 60s psychedelic rock, definitely check out this album. It's very, very good.
It is quite a fun time.
Yeah.
Now, AJ, I was also given an album, and
that is correct.
What is the album that you gave me?
So the album that I gave to Mr. Matt Glass is Asia by Steely Dan.
Yes, indeed. Steely Dan, by the way, for all of you who don't know, is an American rock band founded in 1971 in New York by Walter Becker and Donald Fagen. Initially, the band had a stable lineup, but in 1974, Becker and Fagen retired from live performances to become a studio-only band, opting to record with a revolving cast of session musicians. And yeah, you can very much tell that they are session musicians.
Oh, 100%.
Like on any of their album. It's funny, like I've listened to a couple Steely Dan songs in the past, but I never actually like listened to a full album of Steely Dan's before. Usually it's just when it comes to like the soft rock that comes up in my playlist. That's usually where I hear them at all. So it's fun to like feel the push and pull of like what's first and then what's last, and like an album is supposed to, you know what I mean?
Like seeing like how they kind of craft it using their sound.
You kind of get the rundown.
Yeah. So this is my favorite Steely Dan album.
Oh, okay.
Steely Dan is one of my favorite bands of all time. I'd say they're number 3.
Okay.
So yeah, I love this album. I think there's a lot to love here. Production wise, just musicianship is incredible on this album.
They have the best chemistry of like any musician.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't want to call them a jam band because they're definitely more than a jam band. They're
like a unit.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are a machine.
So I don't know how much you know about like Steely Dan lore, but
not
like,
really.
Fair enough. Around this time was when they were kind of entering their perfectionist era.
Oh.
Where basically they would do like hundreds of takes to get everything right. This is kind of where it started. Maybe the that a couple albums before on Katie Lied, which was in 75. But the next album, Gaucho, was when they really like dug into that. Like the first track on their Babylon Sisters took like over 200 tries to record like the backing vocals.
Oh, dude, that would drive me insane.
That whole album had like a disastrous like production process, but it's still really good. But Asia was kind of like the seed sown into that, so which is interesting, and you can kind of tell because they tried extremely hard and it paid off very well because it won a Grammy.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
What is it? Let me see. Best engineered recording non-classical in 77.
You know what? Facts. It's pretty cool.
So Matt, what did you think of Asia?
All right. Well, I can give you a bit of a track by track little
Little rundown.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you just did with
Part 1.
Yes. So I really enjoy the opener Black Cow.
Yeah, man.
I think what I really enjoy lyrically about Steely Dan, at least in this album, is that they kind of have this, like, it's such a very like bold and brazen like level of improvisation and like freestyling on their instruments.
Yeah.
But they also have very like introverted and depressed lyrics.
Like their lyrics are usually just about like are either very cynical or about the most depraved people.
Emo jazz.
Yeah. If you will.
I wish you could have seen the hand motions I just did. It was like a...
It was fabulous.
No, I really love the lyrics of Black Cow, especially the I can't cry anymore while you're around.
Yeah.
Like that whole section, I don't know why, but something about that just like really made me vibe for a second. I had to pause the music and just like, you know,
like process.
I feel like instrumentally, like it's so good that I don't know how I can critique it, if that makes sense.
I gotcha, yeah.
Like I'm a keyboard player, but whoever their keyboard player and organ player is, Lord, I envy their skills and their dexterity with their fingers.
I know,
like,
man.
Good Lord.
They tickle all those keys.
So they really, really
also,
do.
fun fact about this track, it was sampled by MF Doom on Operation Doomsday for the song Gas Draws.
Oh, I'm going to have to listen to that now.
It's really good.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I love when artists sample things.
I know.
There will be a Daft Punk episode, or at least an episode where probably one of us is going to listen to Daft Punk, and it's going to be glorious because they use samples all the time.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, lyrically, I really enjoyed Black Cow. It's 5 minutes, which I'm not the biggest fan of longer songs, but I
feel
will
like it's
say
earned.
It is earned.
Yeah.
It's a really, really fun song. And the next song is even better.
Yes, sir, dude. I'm glad you like this one.
Asia, oh my God. When I saw it was 8 minutes, I was like, this is going to suck. I was very upset. I'm not upset. I was like more...
Like not looking forward to it.
No, I was not really looking forward to it whatsoever. But my God, the instrumental is almost like hypnotizing in a weird sense. Like it kind of took me somewhere.
Yeah. Like, yeah, exactly. Like it paints a vivid picture up on the Dude Ranch down by the sea.
Not for real, for real. I love the way they kind of describe the different instruments and what they're doing, like subject verb wise.
Yeah.
I'm a whore for sentences. Maybe cut that one out. I love the way that they do. I love the way that they write the actions of all the instruments. Like I love the thing about the what was it? The Chinese music always sets me free.
Yeah.
And the angular banjos always sound good to me. You know what I mean? Like the rhymes are like nice and sweet, but they still kind of have this little closed off feel.
Like some edge to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's nice. This is like a little bit of this song feels like a little moment of grace, if you would.
Okay.
And out of the cynicalness.
Yeah.
And I really like it. It's sort of like it's almost like taking the value of like alone time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just like it's pleasant. It's positive. And like I will say it's like a positive high followed by a very cynical low right after, which we will get to.
Oh, yes.
But I just want to say the drum solo on this by Mr. Steve Gadd.
Oh my God.
Orgasmic, dude. My fucking God. It's incredible.
I was very impressed.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I don't know anything about playing the drums. Like AJ is a drummer.
I'm a drummer,
context.
yes.
Half the time when he's going ham, because we're actually in a little bit of a...
We are in a band?
Yes, we're in a bit of a cover band.
Called the White Broncos. Do with that name what you will.
No questions, please. But anyway, half the time when I see him going ham on the drums, I'm like, how in God's name did you do that? And I listen to this and say, how in the fuck did you do that? Like,
I know, man. Like, I could never play that. Like, that's just so advanced, so much like muscle memory and like controlling all like the little muscle like bits in your body. It's just like do whatever you want. It's insane. and it works so well.
No, it does. Like keyboard, you need to have like a certain kind of rhythm to do keyboard. Like you need to be able to like, because sometimes keyboard is considered percussion, only if you're a nerd. But but like the thing is,
give me 1 second. So yeah, Asia, phenomenal song.
Absolutely. I very much enjoyed like the peaceful, introverted like vibe that it was putting out, because that's what I try to be, a peaceful introvert.
Yeah, man. That's all you can ask for.
Exactly. That's all you can ask for. Now this next song, I did like it, probably not as much as like the first two.
Yeah.
Deacon Blues.
Yes. Basically the complete opposite tonally.
Yes.
It's very depressing.
It is quite depressing. Like, I do love the wordplay and like the usage of like description, like even just the first line, this is the day of the expanding man. Like, what a line.
I know, dude.
The shape is my shade. Like
of something I used to stand.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like even if you're going like through, because like I didn't listen to like all the lyrics. Mostly I was kind of trying to take in like everything, but this one just jumped out at me right now. My back to the wall, a victim of laughing chance.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So basically, the song is about like a performer down on his luck. And who's trying to kill himself.
Yeah. No. Jeez. You can really like feel the vitriol.
Yeah.
Vitriol.
The venom.
Like you can really feel just like how bitter this guy is. But instrumental wise, I have to say, even though this isn't my favorite, my God.
Yeah, the horns, dude.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I loved how level were they real horns or synth horns?
They're real.
They're real?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, here's the thing. It is so hard to record brass instruments.
Oh, yes.
It is obscenely difficult. Like in high school, I only know this because in high school, my choir teacher tried to record like a bunch of stuff for like the people in band, and he had the worst trouble trying to record horns, even on like his finest mic. In fact, one kid was so loud with his French horn, he broke the little ribbon in ribbon mic.
Oh, dude!
And it was tragic because apparently it was like close to $700.
Oh yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, no. So it was kind of a technical no-no, if you know what I mean. But
as they say in the business.
But the fact that they like recorded the horns and they sound so level.
Yeah.
Even when you play horns quietly, it's still loud.
Yeah.
It fills up the space.
And so cleanly too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They were so clean. I honestly thought they were synth.
That's authentic, man.
Like straight up. I straight up thought that they were like synthesized horns.
Steely Dan don't take shortcuts.
Nah, they really don't. I really would have loved to know what their studio setup was like to record that, because that's incredible. It's incredible, like when it comes to positioning, and like recording setups. Because Sound City, that's a great,
good documentary.
That is a great documentary, primarily produced by Dave Grohl and
of the Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters. No, but he talks about how positioning, finding the right position for this drum kit was essential.
And getting the perfect sound.
And that's a different instrument in its entirety.
Yeah.
But like horns, that's a whole like you really can't adjust the volume of those either.
No.
It's
whatever happens, happens.
Not for real. Whatever doot you blute, it comes out the snoot.
As Miles Davis once said.
No, but really, I'm very impressed. I thought they were synthesized, but they are not, apparently.
Yeah, man. This is a very impressive album.
And even though, again, not my favorite, but lyrically, I'd give it, we're not doing like we're not doing like individual attributes of a song, but lyrically, I'd give this like a 9.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
I am a fan of depressing songs.
Drink Scotch whiskey all night long.
Not
Die
for real.
behind the wheel.
For real.
All right, now the next track you actually told me your opinions about, which I am very curious to hear more.
Now, I know, because after we talked a little bit about this the other day, and because we did like a little brief, like we touched base a little bit about everything. I did not enjoy Peg, I guess, as much as millions of other Steely Dan fans do.
Yeah, because this is the big hit from this album, for those who don't know.
And I see why. Don't get me wrong. I understand why it's a huge hit. To me, though, I feel like it was so repetitive.
I mean, I can see why, because it's basically, in its like structure, it's like verse, chorus, guitar solo, verse, chorus, and then like outro.
Steely Dan is also amazing because they are riffing throughout the entirety of the song, but they do some variations and freestylings to it that makes it sound nice. This one, for some reason, the riff was like really getting on my nerves.
Like the main, like the dun dun dun. Interesting. Okay.
It was for like it sounded like kind of like a Mario Kart track. Like if Coconut Mall went like a bit more blues.
All right.
And I was like, Jesus, okay, Coconut Mall. I actually had to play the new Coconut Mall in
That's true, and the DLC pack's coming soon.
Oh, yeah. So.
Give us money, Nintendo.
Sponsor. No, but
I gotta ask before we continue, what do you think of the guitar solo on the song?
the guitar solos are impressive. I find all guitar solos like pretty impressive regardless because I can't play first fret. But like honestly, like this one definitely it is a marvel.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more iconic parts of the song.
Yeah.
The other part being Michael McDonald's backup vocals.
The vocals were very good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like everything technically and musically and the musicality of the song, fantastic.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the riff.
I got the riff. That's interesting.
The riff is just what made me be like, okay, I might need to skip this. But I didn't. I didn't skip it.
Okay.
I stuck through. I fought hard. I did it. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption.
Peg.
But yeah, I think Peg is definitely like lyrically it's also fine. It's
I've
just
seen
the riff.
Chat.
It's just the riff. Like that's it.
That's really interesting.
I don't know. Like I don't know why I am the one out of the millions of Steely Dan fans who I guess like love the riff. I don't know why I don't like it. I tried, but I couldn't.
You know what?
I really
to each
tried.
their own.
I really tried.
Hey man, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
So the next track is Home at Last. Another tonal shift, which happens a lot on this album, but it's paced very well. It like every moment is like feels naturally like occurring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found this one to be very peaceful.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Even like even the really high action songs too, where you're kind of like jiving like but like you're kind of moving.
It's still mellow.
It's still mellow and like it's even and it feels nice and clean. Like there's a lot of admirable things about it, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. This one was fun.
So I believe this song lyrically is like an allegory for like the Odyssey. It's something to do with like Greek mythology.
That makes a lot of sense now that I'm remembering it. Yeah.
I'm not like too sure on the details, but that's just what I remember hearing.
Okay.
But yeah, the song's great. Another phenomenal guitar solo by Walter Becker.
Yes,
it's
very
great.
Much so.
Also inspired one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time called Steely Dan Monkey.
Oh.
Where it's just a monkey doing the guitar solo with its voice.
That's incredible.
Highly recommend. But what did you think?
I really liked it. It was very peaceful. Like whenever I listen to albums all the way through, I like to just sort of like lie down and just sort of like think about it and like, you know, really take it all in.
Yeah.
And I feel like this one, all the songs were just so like vibey but fresh at the same time. Like there was a lot happening, but the action on everything was not like too much.
Yes.
Unlike another group
which we will get into at some point
in the next few episodes. But no, I feel like everything was just so balanced well, especially like in this song. I mean, definitely in what was it, Deacon Blues?
Yeah.
Great balance. But this one, also great balance.
Nice.
I just felt I feel at ease when I listen to these songs.
It's smooth. Smooth is the word for this album.
Yes.
That's like
the definition.
That's like the bit of like this album. If you ever seen the web series Yacht Rock, it's like that's like Steely Dan's things that they're smooth, which they fucking earn because like they put in so many hours for this.
No, for real.
And yeah, it definitely shows on this song. And on the next song too, which people consider to be the weakest track on this album, which is I Got the News. I personally really like this track.
I think I might actually have to agree with everybody else.
That's fair.
I do. I can't say that I like, unfortunately, definitively like recall something that stood out to me.
Okay.
With this one, as much as like the past one or the past other ones, even Peg, which I didn't particularly love.
It's memorable for a different reason for you.
Yeah. No, I feel like this one was honestly, a little bit weak.
Okay.
Again, sounded great. I don't know. There's also a level of Steely Dan where it's like, okay, you can only listen to so much of this minor 4 diminished 16th piano chord. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I
it's like we
gotcha.
get it. We have too many accidentals. Like, you know, like, and accidentals are the raising and lowering of a semitone
Ooh.
for pitch.
Thank you. I don't know that because I'm a drummer.
That was also for the audience. But if you wanted to get technical with it, but no, honestly, for those who can't see me, I just did like a weird like crook mustache motion. Like
It was kind of hot, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Thank you, AJ.
Of course.
But anyway,
I think my favorite part of this song is the bridge when the backing vocals come in and it breaks on the ride with the some of the stump dump and Michael
nice.
McDonald comes back. Broadway Duchess, darling, if you only knew.
Broadway Duchess Michael McDonald. He has an outstanding voice.
Oh, it's incredible.
I will back with you there. He has an outstanding voice.
That is the part that saves the song for most people is the bridge, which I get, but I like the overall thing, and I understand why it's the weakest track on this album.
If it ever just like came on, I wouldn't turn it off.
Yeah,
But I'm not gonna like, you know.
like go out of your way to put it on.
That's like the fun thing about Steely Dan in general. I feel like they just have that like this nice fresh sound.
Yeah.
But it's also these complex chords that really do a good job of conveying like the emotion.
And the technicality.
No, for sure.
Like it's deep musically, kind of lyrically, but it's still like easy listening.
yeah. No, it's they really do a good job.
Yeah, man. It's a phenomenal balancing act.
They like own the fuck out of this whole like motif they're going
dude.
for.
And that brings us to our last track, Josie.
I loved this track.
Josie's great. It's a great closer.
It was very nice. It was also the shortest out of all of them, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's like only 3 minutes.
Huh.
It's like, or no, 3 minutes, like 55 seconds?
Okay.
I think. Let me
Yeah,
check.
most songs are like over 5 minutes on this album.
Yeah, that's the other thing with me where I'm like, oh no, it's actually like 4 minutes
Okay.
and 31 seconds, but it's like the shortest one.
Yeah.
At least it felt like it was paced well.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like all the other ones are great, but after a while you're kind of like, okay,
I get
it. Steely Dan. Yeah, we know. Like, no, but Josie was really, really fun.
Yeah.
It's a great closer. It felt satisfying when it closed out the album.
Yeah.
And what was the lyric that actually popped out to me quite a lot?
Is it, we're going to break out the battle apple when Josie comes home?
Yeah. Actually, right on the money. That was literally it.
Because no one knows what the fuck a battle apple is.
Maybe it's like an Adam's apple that's just been bionically rigged.
It could be, but my favorite subreddit of all time is called Steely Dan Circle Jerk. It's basically a meme page for Steely Dan fans, and the battle apple comes up quite frequently because no one knows what the fuck Donald Fagen's talking about.
That is so amazing. I want to get like, there's this amazing website called Nice Shirt Thanks, and you basically give instructions to these artists who are working on the shirts, and essentially you don't know what you're going to get from these instructions. So I want to type battle apple in and just see
That's a good idea.
vague musical references made into t-shirts. And you don't know, like that's
Help him a rock.
Yo, wait a sec. Merch? Oh my God, no, but that's incredible. I love that. There was also another line where it was like, what was it? I think it was, Joe, would you love to scrapple? Because we're in PA, scrapple. I'm from New Jersey. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Donald Fagen offering a plate of scrapple.
Would you like to scrapple? Scrapple on this John? I hate myself for saying that as much as you all hate me.
Yeah, it's all right, dog. You can't say that. Never again. That's our word.
Oh, jeez. But this is the album rating section, if I'm not mistaken.
That's true. So what do you give this album, Matt?
Honestly, I give this, I would say I give this like a 6.5.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I very much enjoyed what was going on.
Yeah.
But I can't say that like this style of music is for me.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I very much think that everything they did in this album, technically, musically, vocally, exceptional.
Okay.
Fantastic. And lyrically, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like they really have some like nice, deep, like I can like
Complexities.
I can sit and think about this for a few hours.
You can
kind
ponder.
of. Yeah. Like it's so much to unpack, and I definitely want to listen to this again.
Yeah.
But I can't say that this is going to be like
Like something you come back to
like
often.
a constant re-listen. You know what I mean? Like a lot of other things that sometimes stick.
I gotcha.
But I definitely want to give it more than, you know what? I could bump it up to a 7.
All right.
I could bump it up to a 7.
Cool.
I definitely want to give it the credit where the credit's due.
Yeah.
It is definitely a worthwhile listen.
Yeah, I highly recommend this to anyone, especially audiophiles. This is like a top tier album for audiophiles. Also a top tier album for me. It's a 10 out of 10. It's S tier. I fucking adore this album.
I can give it S tier, honestly.
Hell yeah.
I agree. I agree with you. Like, even though my ranking is only like a 7, it's done so well. Like, it sticks to the vibe and it's consistent.
Yeah, man.
It is so consistent, and that is what I love about it.
Hell yeah,
and
dude.
the fact that I still can't get over that Deacon Blues has real horns.
I know.
That is wild.
Yeah, man. They bring in like professional session musicians for all of their second album session musicians for all their tracks.
Yeah.
So I think that does it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Any final thoughts? Any final words?
This has been a fun first episode. And
It has been.
I hope you all really enjoyed this because honestly, you've no choice. We're going to be around, whether you want to listen to it or not. We're not really going away anytime soon.
That's true, man. You're going to have to pry us from the studio.
That's true. That
you
riot.
Fucking beatniks.
That riot might actually happen after all. Down with the family album.
They're too extreme. You only give Asia a 7.
We must riot. Help. I'm a rock. Help. I'm a rock. They're just like throwing themselves like it's... Instead of like throwing rocks into the windows, it's just they're throwing themselves in the windows.
Because they're rocks.
Tying notes like around them. Like in the movies when they throw rocks and there'd be like a note attached. That's such a sociopathic thing to do, by the way. It is. Like, who the fuck was like, hey, let me break your property.
I'm gonna send a message.
But on the other hand, communication is key.
That is true. Yeah, we actually learned that in Intro to Calm. Like chapter 1, fucking throw rocks in your neighbor's window and see what happens.
It's true. It was actually an exercise. I did get arrested.
Matt, I believe this has been the first episode of the Family Album.
Yes, it has.
I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm your other host, Matthew Glass.
We'll catch you on the next podcast.
Peace.